Guys, Ted Bogert back with the Ted Show. You never know what you're going to find on my show, and neither do I. So that's kind of the fun part of it. I am excited to have country rock. I'll let you describe, but Crow Buntry is on the show today. We've got Crow up in the top right and Uncle Dick Buntry in the bottom, and they're all masked. Listen, it's just another day in paradise for me. I'm excited to hear their story. I want to hear more about them, and I know you guys do too. So, guys, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you for having
I'm super excited to have you. I love it when anybody surprises me. I'm not surprised that often, so this is a surprise. So good stuff. So let's get to origin story. Let's talk a little bit about before we dive into what Crow Buntry is and the music and all of that. Tell us a little bit about you all and how you got to creating the band.
All righty, Uncle Dick, you wanna shoot that one off?
Yeah, yep. First off, so we got my name's Uncle Dick Buntry. This is Magpie here. So we all met about a dozen years ago or so. We all went to our upper schooling out in Nashville, Tennessee. So we all got together, and we're all musicians up there. It's how we all started. We just started playing, and this project just kind of popped up out of nowhere. We're just like, you know what, we want to do something different and something fun, and especially around these dark times, we wanted to put some light on it. We want to make people laugh because everyone knows laughter is the best medicine, unless you got whiskey, then you go with whiskey. But besides whiskey, laughter is the best medicine. So we got together, and Magpie here reached out to myself and several other musicians all over the country. We got a guy up in Canada that plays with us, and we got them all over the U.S. And we came together and we started writing tunes and just what we know, what we don't know, kind of what we're feeling. And we don't take ourselves too seriously, but that's how we all came together. We started playing everything from rock and roll to country to reggae and everything, and we just kind of landed on this. Said, this would be a fun little gig. Let's go for it.
Yeah, but it becomes a life. It becomes your life. It becomes what you want to do with your life, which is obviously awesome. I love to hear musician stories because you never know how bands come together. You don't know if you've been playing since the 4th grade together or 6th grade, or if you met each other the way you guys did. How did you so Magpie? Yeah?
Yeah, that's correct.
All right, I got it. All right, so tell us your version of that, because I always like to hear how different band members think how it all came together.
Well, I mean, like you kind of said, some of us have been playing together since we were in high school and middle school. Like, that's the great thing about this project is we have people all over the United States, and like he said, Canada. One of our members is up there, and we've got childhood friends playing together, and then they meet people in college or just at a job, and they start playing together, and you kind of all meet each other, and it becomes about crafting songs and saying things that are needed in the world today and aren't just fluff. And there's an ability to do that that's really cool in the world of country music, especially because there's a lot of fluff going on right now.
So define fluff, because I like this conversation, because I'm a big believer in we got to get out of the fluff. So what do you all do different? Describe the genre of music. I saw it. I saw on one of your sites, I think, country rock. Tell us what kind of music it is that you play as Crow Buntry.
Well, that's a pausing point for us, because part of the fun of music is not telling you exactly what we're going to do next. So for us to say, for me to come back and say, yeah, we're a Southern rock, folk, Americana bunch of people who may throw in a hip hop verse every 4 songs. I don't know. Depends who wants to make a tune with us.
Do you guys write your own music?
Every single word.
So tell me about that process. I'm always fascinated. Before we went live, there were people early on that asked about that process, because I think we have a lot of struggling or newbie musicians that watch these kinds of episodes of the show. And I think one of their biggest questions is how did you get together and actually make a group, and how do you create your songs together?
Well,
So tell me about the process of songwriting.
I mean, I think our biggest thing with songwriting goes back to, you know, studying it, like listening to what you love first, and then actually being able to like break it down and see why you love it. Just like anything else in life. Like if you're a carpenter, you know, you learn the different types of wood that you want to work with. You learn the different tools to shape it into something that somebody's going to love forever. Songs exactly the same as that. You sit down and you sit down with love and with your friends and with these stories about, you know, life and your heart and how they affect each other, and you're able then to create something out of nothing, and it's a sure intellectual thing, clear as day.
So tell me about the other thing that we had before we went live, a few questions. And Uncle Dick, whenever you're ready, you can pop in. People want to know how you take your passion. Obviously, you all are talented, passionate musicians. And how do you take that, though, and move it to the next step of, all right, I've got to book tours. When we booked tours, I've got to go out and perform. I have to record music. I have to figure out how to be on Spotify. There's a whole business side that I think people who are creative, like you all are, sometimes struggle with. So what was that process like for you guys?
Uncle Dick, do you want to take this one? Or I can.
We're easy here, so you either one.
I mean, I think for us, when we all met, we were lucky enough to meet in the studying of music business in a time when music business was completely, I mean, music business just throws the playbook out the window based upon the time that you're living in. Like, you know, this industry has, for the past, 10 years, been about touring, and now touring's off the table. So they're trying to figure out how to make a buck, and it's really hard, I think, because we were being spread out and all already pioneering, writing together, looking into doing live streaming stuff, which then suddenly the market got overwhelmed with, and we kind of scrapped a lot of those plans because it was like, well, everybody's jumping into doing this thing. So, but we're lucky because we have a core group of guys who actually studied the music industry and studied music history at the collegiate level.
I mean, I think it's amazing the way that you approach things. You guys are obviously, tell me how the group's made up. Does each group member have a name? You're Magpie, that's Uncle Dick. Explain to me, and then tell the viewers what Crow Buntry means. I had that question asked a bunch.
Okay, well, it is, yeah. It's a family band. It's the idea is that it's a collective of songwriters and people who choose to be part of this family. Who know each other well enough that they can support each other, not just with music, but in life. And
I love that.
As to Crow Buntry, where that comes from, I mean, one of the first nights we were sitting around, we wrote these two first songs, Drink a Little Less, Smoke a Little More, and Whiskey Dick Picnic. And we were talking about what we were going to call ourselves and how we were even going to do this thing. Because we were like, it's not about us. It's about just having some fun songs for people.
Right.
And then somebody said, well, it's all bro country out there. And then I looked at him and said, well, we could just be Crow Buntry.
Isn't that funny how it just and then everybody said, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty.
What about your individual names? I don't know if I'm allowed to ask that, but why do we have Uncle Dick? Why do we have Magpie? I don't know what the other names are. I know they're family names. I love the concept. I totally get the concept. But how do you pick your names? Does the band give it to you, or do you say this is what I want?
Hey, I just want to say sorry, y'all. I had to drive to get greener pastures in terms of internet connection. I'm out here.
It's all right, man. You're good.
I just have to drive on down the road, so I'm back though.
All right, good.
So I want to explain to your viewers that Uncle Dick is out in the middle of nowhere in Texas. He's actually in the process of building his homestead and stuff out there. And I'm here in our studio in Nashville, Tennessee. So if he does have some internet issues, it's a connectivity.
We're all loving and forgiving here, so we're good. What part of Texas, Uncle Dick?
I'm up here just north of Dallas, Fort Worth. I'm a little town. A lot of people ain't heard of it, called Princeton, Texas. It's about 45, 50 miles north of Dallas. It's just kind of on the outskirts. I'm out here on the county road right now.
And you're still getting Wi-Fi.
Out there, we're close enough to get in on the action.
My daughter lives in Fort Worth, so I love Texas. All right, so back to the names. Tell me, where did Magpie come from? If you're allowed to share, or how do you name the band members?
So we do. Everybody picks their own Buntry name, as long as it wasn't somebody hadn't already picked it. It's one of those things where a magpie is pretty close to a crow. Each of us has a little bit of a backstory for our characters. I don't know if you've seen it, but our little band avatars are like little Lego country men.
Yes.
And they rock along. They're pretty easy to tour with these days because they can just be put in a box and sent to the right city.
I love it. All right, tell me where the song "Drink a Little Less, Smoke a Little More." I mean, I get it. I'm assuming, like, my vision is you're at a bar, you're collaborating, you're figuring out what the heck I want to do, and somebody comes up. I don't know where you come up with "Drink a Little Less," but I'm going to let you go with that and explain to us. I think it's cool when people know where the song comes from.
Yeah, definitely. I think that that song kind of came from one of those really cool places of sitting around with your friends and having some drinks, and then just coming up with a cool little catchy hook, and then building the story off that, and just having it be like about telling one of those most basic stories in songwriting. How good the relationship was, and then she left with your whiskey and ran up your credit card bill, and it went all south so quick, and you were just there thinking, how could this happen to me?
What do you guys, I love it. What are you guys doing for the next couple of months? Meaning, obviously, the quarantine started to lift a little bit. And the best part about, I would imagine, being in a band is performing together. Don't you want to? I mean, performance is where it's all at. What are you guys doing? Have you been doing anything virtual? Are you planning to do you have future dates that you're going to go out? What's it like as a musician right now in this COVID world, trying to still promote Crow Buntry?
Well, I think overall, it is a scary time for a lot of the industry, and I know that a lot of my good friends are out of work. And they're wondering how they're gonna pay their mortgages or their rent and all that stuff, and that's scary. That's a really scary thing for us to promote. We kind of build it around being apart from each other, so we do want to play some shows, and we have some stuff in the works to do that and to start doing some virtual things, and those were in the works before the pandemic really hit. So that's stuff that we could easily put on the back burner because we weren't investing money and too much time into it.
Right.
And for us, I mean, we've got 20 some songs that are still being finished writing and recording, 3 more that'll be out hopefully by mid-September. So, you got to choose where you put your energy and your focus. And I think that for us, making the music comes ahead of everything else.
Yes.
Like we would love to get on stage as all 15, 20 of us, and that will happen, and it'll be pretty. It's not going to be a big stage.
There's how many of you?
We're up to like 15, 20 people who are involved with this now.
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean they're spread out over 8 to 10 states and Canada. So it just more people want to get involved when you're doing something that you can be a part of, that's collaborative, that's not just the music medium, but is about painting, is about photography. is about creating just art in whatever aspect is your love and your talent.
So tell me about the whiskey song. I did not see that song. What's the name of that one?
Uncle Dick, do you want to tell that one?
I think he's frozen. He might be out.
He may have froze on us. That's
He
okay. It's called Whiskey Dick Picnic.
All right. I love it already. So please tell me about that, because I would just really like to know.
It's our latest release. It's kind of an ode in some ways to the old like Bakersfield, Dwight Yoakam kind of sound. It was one of the first two that we wrote, and it was just kind of came from the heart, and it's a story of acquainted love that goes completely wrong. So
I mean, I don't know how it couldn't go wrong with Whiskey Dick Picnic, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. See, that's the kind of stuff that I love, because y'all are being creative. There's obviously some tongue in cheek there on the title, because if you are, trust me, everybody knows what Whiskey Dick is. And I think it's so amazing that you guys incorporate that in. I can't even imagine hearing that live. You all seem like you have a great sense of humor too. You mentioned it earlier, you don't take yourself so seriously, but I think that's powerful. I think, immediately, first of all, I can't see your faces. So what I love though is that immediately I felt like these are cool guys. You guys have that, the way that you speak and the way that you share your story, that comes across on when you're performing and when you're writing and when you're sharing and when you're singing. And I think that's an amazing thing. How do you balance 15 people-ish that are involved in that process?
You from the beginning, you start with the fact that it's not about your ego. It's not about any single person's, what I look like and what credit I'm due. That's the issue, I think, now, and why the name is Crow Buntry, is that, there's a lot of this, especially in country music, but in all music, a lot of this moving forward into, it's all about me. I remember when we sent in for Drink a Little Less, Smoke a Little More, we sent in this image for the cover of it for different publications of, the Lego head on a wanted poster. And I went to one of the publications on the day of release, and every single photograph on this website on the front page is, somebody trying to look cool, or a band or a duo trying to look cool, staring at the camera, super cool. And then I hit us, and it's a Lego head and he's on a wanted poster, and he's saying, wanted for drinking too much whiskey.
I love it. That poster is amazing.
So,
I think you got, what I love is your spirit. I think you guys have a great spirit. You are serious musicians, but you understand humor, and you understand performance, and you understand how to kind of work that all into a song. I think it's brilliant. I think it's amazing. So where do we what's the best way? I have the Facebook page scrolling. What's the best way if somebody wants to download your song, get more information about you guys? What's the best way for them to reach out?
Well, Instagram is usually Instagram and Facebook are the two. If you want to reach out to us, and we'll send you some free band stickers. Just send us an address, and we're trying to we think that this is something where every listener who feels like they're a part of it, every fan's a part of the band. We're not going to create something that's about us. That's the whole point. Right. So at Crow Buntry Band on Instagram is the Instagram, and the like you said, the Facebook is just at Crow Buntry. And then Spotify too is just Crow Buntry on there. And then we're on all the streaming services. You can buy us on iTunes. And at some point we may put a website together, but I don't really think it's worth it at this point.
Listen, I'm going to tell you, as somebody who does social media all the time, websites, when I ask it, like I ask every time somebody has a URL, most people don't ever visit that. They go to your social media. So kudos for you. I think we're getting away, even though these GoDaddy places probably aren't happy about it. We're shifting from URLs and paying a whole bunch of money to have a website to our social media. So good for you. So are there songs that are, last question, are there songs that are being released coming up? You know, I would love for them, when you share the show, to share a link to the songs, and I'll do the same, because I want people to hear your music. I want people to know what you guys are all about. But are you guys still in the process of writing? Are you writing new music?
We are. We're writing all the time, and it's great because with this many people, you can have, you know, 2, 3, and people write at the same time, and then kind of share them and send them off. And with the internet now, you can, you know, we all have our own little home studio setups. We have the main ones here in Nashville, and then one down in Florida. We can send stuff back and forth and try something. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Our next 3 songs, we've got a song called Legalized Country coming out. That really, I think, is speaking a lot to the times, and a lot to the changes happening in the world and how rapid it is now. And then we have a song called Rain's Water that I'm really excited about. It's a B-side, but I was one of the first ones that we wrote, and I've just been waiting to share it with the world. And then a song called Benny Buntry's Place, which is an ode to the Nashville downtown Broadway scene. Its parentheses title is "You Ain't Made It Till You Own a Bar on Broadway." And I'm super excited about the melody on that one and the lyrics. I mean, we shout out to everybody who we don't like.
You guys are, you know what? I love your energy. I think it's so awesome. Thank you for coming on the show. I want people to find you. I want people to go to the Facebook page, which I have scrolling there, or their Instagram, which I tagged earlier in a post. Guys, get out and get to know Crow Buntry, because they're obviously in touch with their fans. They love the interaction, and they have a great, amazing story, which I really appreciate you sharing. You guys are awesome. I'm sorry we lost Uncle Dick, but thank you, Magpie, for being on the show. Guys, go out and support this amazing band. You will not regret it. So thanks for being on the show. I appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Ted.
All right, man. Y'all have a great day. We will see you guys back soon. Bye, everybody.